Okay, this about how we collect the small animals. Let's know about collecting pond animals. I want to collect it from where? From the pond. Pond animals may be collected from the bottom of the pond, the water plants around the edges, or the open water just below the surface. Maybe from the bottom, maybe the water plants around the edges, or the open water just below the surface, right? A drag net is used to collect animals from the bottom of the pond. I have the drag net. Do you see down? The first one from the left. This is the drag net. I will use it why? To collect animals from the bottom of the pond. As it is dragged along, it scoops up animals living on the surface of the mud. It will take the animal that lives on the surface of the mud down in the pond. The pond dipping net is used to sweep through vegetation around the edge of the pond to collect animals living on the leaves and stems. Leaves and stems of the plant that I will find it in the pond. Okay, the pond dipping net. In this, I will use the pond dipping net is used to sweep through vegetation around the edge of the pond to collect animals living on the leaves and stems. The last types of these nets, a plankton net, is pulled through the open water to collect small animals swimming there. To collect the small animals swimming at the open water. So I have three types of net. Drag net to the bottom. Okay, the pond dipping net is used to sweep through vegetation around the edge of the pond to collect animals living on the leaves and stems. And the plankton net is pulled through the open water to collect small animals swimming there. Okay, till now we know how to collect small animals from the places around the plants and or maybe from the plants, from its leaves, stems, as we know about the ways. Then we spoke about collecting pond animals. Let's see or know about studying the seashore. We all know the seashore. Down in this picture, this is a seashore, right? We have a grade 7 two kinds of seashore, sandy shores and rocky shores. I have what? Sandy shores and rocky shores. A transect can be made from the top of each type of shore down to the water's edge at low tide. I can use a transect in them both, in sandy shores and rocky shores. On the sandy shore, quadrat can be placed on the sand at 10-meter intervals down to the sea, and any living things on the surface recorded. I'm gonna record any living things on the surface. The quadrat can then be removed. After that, I can remove it. And the sand dug out to a depth of 50 centimeter and sifted through a sieve. I'm going to collect it and sift it through a sieve. Why? To collect any small animals. During digging, larger animals such as worms and mollusks may be encountered as the animals burrow away from the disturbance. Like they might not disturb me. Okay, in this case, it will never make for me any problem. But I will make a note. A note of their presence could be made. I will make a note that I find these kind of animals. After the specimen have been extracted and examined, they must be returned to their habitat. I must return it to the habitat. Now I know how to study the sandy seashore, right? By what? By a transect. Let's know about the a rocky shore. On a rocky shore, a transect can be made with a rope. It can be made with what? A rope. Do you remember this way of the rope? And the presence and identity of seaweeds can be noted at 10-meter intervals along it. At what? 10 meters intervals along it. Okay? By using also here a transect, but here with a rope. Small rocks, pools may have a quadrat placed over them and their outline marked at squared paper. I will bring squared paper, then I will mark on it the places that I put the quadrat on. Okay? The positions of seaweeds and animals such as limpets, mussels, and sea anemones could be plotted inside the outline. I will notice these small animals such as limpets, mussels, and sea anemones. The temperature of rock pools could be taken at 10-meter intervals along the transect. I will also notice the temperature. The temperature of rock pools could be taken at 10-meter intervals along the transect. Okay? And that's it, grade 7, about our lesson for today. If you love to work with your hands, it would be so lovely. So you can go outside, you can go to a farm or a place that contains a habitat, and we know the habitat, and make such studying. Okay, we spoke together about recording the plant life in a habitat using a quadrat and using a transect. And we know about collecting small animals, the ways that we collect the small animals. We spoke about the tall grain, pitfall trap, sweep net, sheet and beater, and potter. Then we spoke about collecting pond animals, and lastly studying the seashore. Okay, we are going to continue about speaking about living things in their environment in the next lesson. See you, grade 7. Please do your homework, which is workbook pages 25, 26, 27, and 28. But the part of adaptation in page 28 is not included because we haven't had this adaptation yet. Okay, grade 7, see you and good luck.